Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. We're going to talk about Dungeons, Dragons, Tabletop, Shadow Dark, Daggerheart, and all these spin-offs. It feels like Dungeons and Dragons and Tabletop is being forked. It's getting forked, right? That we're going to split basically the Dungeons and Dragons player base into two different camps. We've got one camp that is going after Shadow Dark, which is more like old school D&D, and we have a lot of other. We have Castles and Crusades and a lot of OSR type tabletop games, and now we have Daggerheart, which is Critical Role, and it is like it is the very it's a very 5e friendly system. Like everything that people had, like, look, if you like 5e, that's great. I want to be very clear. Like if you like 5e and this is the way you want to play tabletop, you have every right to play it however you want to. That's fine. But 5e, at least the community and the aesthetic and the, whatever play style in a lot of ways is deviated from traditional D&D, at least old head D&D, like myself and others grew up playing. And it's gotten more into, cooking and shipping and pronouns and prom. And Critical Role is kind of, they were front and center for bringing, I think, a lot of the Tumblr audience into tabletop. And that's sort of what it morphed into. It became a tabletop game for theater kids, right? And not that there's anything wrong with that, but it definitely drove a wedge, I think, between old school D&D players and this new breed of D&D player. Now we've got another wedge being driven, I think, between groups, because I think pretty much everybody is in agreement that you need to leave D&D behind at this point. So we've got one side's going off into Shadow Dark, Castles and Crusades, more old school type stuff, more hardcore gaming, and then the other side is going to lean into this, which Daggerheart, which we're going to talk about. The character sheet, which has, pronouns and heritage instead of race. So pretty much everything that 5e is doing now, but ramped up to an 11 from my vantage point. But weirdly, the official D&D account is actually giving them praise. Dungeons and Dragons is actually like, hey guys, you go you. Because this is very much what, the people that are left, the handful of people that are left at Wizards, this is, their thought process. They so I have to wonder at some point, again, given the state of Hasbro, if they won't just outsource a lot of their books to someone else. And it could be that, maybe the Daggerheart people wind up with it, or Paizo winds up with it. I don't know. But we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. No woohoos in this one. It wouldn't be appropriate. Yeah, so here's the thing. And I want to be clear up front before people are like, you're just a hater. You're just a bigot. No, you can play tabletop however you want to. I have a huge problem with what D&D has become, and more in particular, I have a problem with a lot of the people in the new community. And this is just like everything else, like every other, I guess, vintage nerd IP. You get a lot of newer people in, and that's fine. It's okay if newer people come in. You're welcome to come in, but they want to come in, they want to rewrite the rules. They want to right out of the gate start telling everybody what they're doing wrong. And in the case of D&D, what has been absolutely disgusting, and it's actually been sanctioned by people working at Wizards, is the tearing down of the people who made the product in the first place. There have been a lot of attempts to erase their racist past and to kick the stinky old middle-aged white men who came up with the game out of their own space. That's what I have a problem with. I have no problem with the scene becoming additive. I have a problem with new people coming in and then pushing people out who have been there for decades because it doesn't suit them anymore. But I'm like, you're new. You're the new ones. So in this case, like, again, you're going to see the schism, I think, between role-playing game communities and the Daggerheart crew. I mean, I guess I can say on some level, like if all of the Tumblr rights that came into the scene with Critical Role leave D&D and OSR behind or whatever, and then they go over to Daggerheart, then they're quarantined over there. You don't have to worry about it. Daggerheart is the blue sky of tabletop games. And I'm sure it'll be successful. I'm sure it's going to pull numbers. I have no doubt, right? But I can tell you right now, just looking at just a cursory glance at it, I'm like, this looks very like Harry Potter. I mean, this is like what we got, like the rabbit Patronus and the whole. We got shipping, we've got my favorite, character sheets with pronouns. I'm going to zoom in. I shit you not. We have character sheets with pronouns. Now, do I know if the game's any good? I don't know. I'm just telling you, just as a consumer, I'm going to take one look at this and I'm going to be like, nah, I'm good. Pronouns on your character sheet. Nah, I'm good. It's all good here. I don't need to know this. Yeah, people were like, what does this come from? Firesofheaven.org. Pronouns on your character sheet. But of course, wow. Yeah. So Kevin Lamb put this up. This is how I found out about it. He put this up. I have not paid attention to it. And again, very clear. This is for a certain audience. And it is the 5e Tumblr audience that watches Critical Role. Matt Mercer himself, and I think I've said this before, we did a panel with him like, God, probably 10, 12 years ago. He's a really nice guy. Like, I don't have any problems with Matt Mercer. I don't even have any problems really with Critical Role. What I have a problem with, again, is the fan base, the new players that came in. They want to police everybody. Everything's problematic, and they want to kick out people that have been here for years. Right? Not everything is right for every group. I think that should be made explicitly clear in any tabletop setting. That's fine. If you want to use pronouns, safe words, you want to do prom, you want to do whatever, that's fine, right? You want unofficial supplements that address that, that's fine. I don't care. It's weird to see Wizards just really pander to that side of the table, I guess. It's just very, very weird. And now they're all going to go over here. Maybe that's why they're celebrating. Maybe they're like, hey, good, you can take all the Tumblr rights with you. Critical Role. You can come over. Anyway, Kevin Lamb posted this. First Daggerheart review shows the included adventure Beast Feast is chock full of pronouns, a festival and caverns filled with happy monsters and chain restaurants. Oh my God. Let's see here. So this is a overview. If your group decides to play this campaign, give your players the following information before character creation. Okay. The Plover Caves, a forest mage. Oh my God, they've got the pronouns in here. She, her. Was that Hylias, the forest mage? Pronouns. I'm channeling my inner Az. They put her damn pronouns in the write-up. She cast a powerful spell, creating a lure that draws dangerous creatures from the surrounding area into the caverns. For centuries, has kept any harm from coming to the village of Elmore. Larry Elmore? We don't talk much about him anymore. Here we go again. That was until the village's beloved halfling mayor, Doug Dougal, he, him. Oh my God. Doug Dougal, he, him. Okay, do we have they, them? Do we have a they, them in here too? Look, again, this is for a specific audience. I can tell you, though, I'm going to take one look at this as an old head and be like, hell no, I'm not interested. Matt, if you're listening, and there's no way in hell you're listening, you're a nice guy. That's fine. You do you, boo. I have zero interest in this. Secrets of Blackmore. First thing I do when coming up with names is Google to see if someone else is using it. Oh, a lot of CR kids, Critical Role kids, are going to get a huge surprise when they search for the live play of Beast Feast. Oh, okay. See, I'm not into that sort of thing. Critical Role did not consider how a lot of dudes refer to their you-know-what as their beast. Had to look, yup. Beast Feast is a gay porn movie. Hilarity ensues. Oh, my God. Or maybe they did consider it's exactly why they picked the name, said Kevin Lamb. Laughing. Yeah, maybe. I'm here for warriors and wenches, sir. There'll be a hard pass for me sticking to CNC. That's Castles and Crusades, which pretty much, I think, Troll Lord Games has become the heir apparent to old school TSR. Plus, they print their books in the US. So you're not going to have to worry about, tariffs and pronouns, prom and pronouns. Wow. Okay. Seems on brand. Yeah, that's exactly it. For F's sake, Brian Urso, we've known him for a while. Hey, GPA. This is an anime, Delicious in Dungeons, something else I can't recall the name. Yeah, pretty much. Nope. One of my friends approves of chain restaurants and dungeons, but only if they're evil. Beast Feast is literally just Delicious in Dungeon. It's explicitly silly and lighthearted, and all the other frame settings are way darker and more serious. Go into Mega Dungeon to fight monsters and eat those monsters so you can keep delving. Let's focus on dumb shit like the combat wheelchairs instead of pretending like goofy fun settings haven't literally always existed. They've done that. Dungeon Magazine had some pretty crazy dungeons. But the Beast people love chain restaurants. They cannot resist corporate ownership. I just don't, I don't really care. I mean, I think it's going to sell a lot. I'm going to be honest. I think it's going to sell really, really well. I just am like, that was my first impression. Cause I didn't really know. I mean, I knew that they were coming out with their own system. I'd heard of Daggerheart. I took one look at the website. I took one look at the character sheet and I'm like, yeah, this is clearly not for me. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be for me. Meanwhile, Shadow Dark's second Kickstarter hit $1 million in a day. And I know that Gary Gygax's stuff that they're publishing through Troll Lords is doing very well as well. I think it's through Troll Lords, doing very, very well. So, yeah, we definitely have reached a fork in the road. So what do you think? What do you think about the pronouns? Pronouns and prom. Pronouns and prom. That's what it is. And that's fine. Look, if that's for you, I'm going to restate because people are going to take this video and they're going to run with it and they're going to be like, he's just a bigot, Nazi hater, homophobe, misogynist, racist. It's like, yeah, whatever. That whole crew, like if they decide that you're a horrible person, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm just saying, I literally have zero interest in this game based on the visuals, based on the character sheet, based on what I've read. I'm like, this is clearly not for me. And that's okay. If it's for you, buy it, play it, enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. But I am going to courteously abstain. Courteously. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.